I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e and I hope you guys had a very, very happy Thanksgiving. As I told you guys before, I took off last week because I went down to Ocean City. We have a whole bunch of family stuff down there. It's really cool. I actually am going to post up another video showing you what I do down there. If you follow me on my Facebook, I do have a Facebook and all that stuff. Links below, Instagram and Twitter and all that. You'll know that I went to see some lights, and it's a really cool thing because it's kind of like a ride, and it's a long line, so it kind of reminds you of Disney. It's really cool, and so I hope you guys will enjoy that. So you get kind of a cool perspective on what I do when I go down to Ocean City, Maryland for Thanksgiving weekend. Before I get started, I do want to reveal where in the world answer. I was at the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. That was I was walking into the Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Some of you thought it was some other things. I thought that was pretty funny, but I could see where you were coming from. That was pretty neat. But I was at the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, so if you guessed Voyage of the Little Mermaid, you are correct. So I want to be doing that each time. I know I said I was going to have another segment for you this week, but with everything that's been going on with the holidays and whatnot, I'm going to have to push that back till next year, just because I got to get the graphics up with it. I just, quite simply, with all this stuff going on, I just don't have the time. So hopefully maybe I can get it done, before the year's end, maybe for my Christmas episode. That'd be kind of neat, but we'll see with that. So. Yeah. Anywho, there you go. The where in the world was I? Like I said, I have some other videos that I want to, put up in the next few weeks. One is the Winterfest video, where my Thanksgiving thing. The other one is I went to Black Friday. I got a bunch of DVDs. Okay, Black Friday DVDs and things like that. Some are Disney, a lot of them aren't. But you guys like to kind of see what I got, during my little excursion. I did not wait in lines on Black Friday. I was driving down to Ocean City that night, and all the Walmarts are open 24 hours. So I just stopped in and picked the scraps. That's pretty much all I do. I just do that. I don't like to wait in lines and do all that because, that's not my thing. Well, unless it's for a Disney ride. And the next thing is I got the winter edition of D23. It's obviously all about saving Mr. Banks, Disney's newest, biggest, coolest movie coming out. It's the first time that anybody has portrayed Walt Disney on film in a biographical sense. So Tom Hanks, Emma Roberts, it's going to be awesome. Or Emma Thompson, Emma Roberts. I was reading something online about her. Anyway, so this is pretty cool. I'll do a D23 thing with that, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested. I think that's it. I think that was pretty much it for me this week. I hope you guys had a really good Thanksgiving. Let's get right to the news. Next week's limited time magic event is all about celebrating Santa. Duffy the Disney Bear will be dressed in his Christmas finest and will be stationed by the Town Square Christmas tree on Main Street, USA. Plus, when you visit other Disney friends throughout the park, they'll each have a specifically decorated keepsake card just for you. So be sure to visit each Disney pal and collect them all. That's the big thing for the limited time magic this week. I think that's pretty neat. They're really getting into the the holiday seasons. All the the Epcot things are all sold out, and the Christmas parties are all sold out. It's just a really cool time. Also this week, as part of Limited Time Magic, the Magic Kingdom's Vice President Phil Holmes will give a special tour of the Magic Kingdom Park to 5 different groups of 25 people, 1 group per day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Then they will be chosen at random. You have to sign up online, the link is below, but the tour will offer you a different view of the park, as well as some inside stories and different things like that. Tour check-in starts at 7 a.m. and the tour starts at 7:45 a.m. on the dot. So if you're interested, be sure to sign up with that link below for your chance to win that opportunity. So that's really cool. I really think that's going to be an awesome time. I would love to actually go and see that, and maybe ask them some questions. That would be a really cool thing. The Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland Dance Party is set for an update to include characters from The Incredibles. Expect to see Mr. Incredible, Mrs. Incredible, and Frozone from December 9th on. So if you're going down to the Magic Kingdom, be sure to check that out. Following the most recent test at Disney's Pop Century Resort, Key to the World cards will no longer be given to guests at check-in at the All-Star Resorts. So All-Star Resorts are now added to the Pop Century area with that thing. All guests will receive a magic band, but a Key to the World card can be requested. However, it will not feature an active magnetic strip, meaning it cannot be used for regular Fast Pass, but can be used in place of or in addition to a magic band, to get into your room and all. So cool. Now this is pretty big. Also with the new My Magic Plus, Disney is now offering a range of photographic services linked with My Magic Plus called Memory Maker. Keep that in mind. The new Next Gen Memory Maker package is another component of the My Magic Plus, which combines a number of photo services into one 100% digital product. Using the My Disney Experience app and website, photos taken by a My PhotoPass or from a PhotoPass photographer and linked via Magic Band, on-site attraction photos and other photos from other guests taken by the My Disney Experience app can all be accessed and downloaded from the day they were shot and up to 45 days after. So basically, Disney's trying to take all of the photo stuff that you have, if you use the app, if you get a photo taken on a ride or by a PhotoPass person, all of it will show up right there, and you can download it as of that day plus 45 days after. Previous digital PhotoPass products allowed only a single post-trip download. You can download anything. You can purchase Memory Maker online or by phone with Disney reservations prior to your trip. It can also be included as part of your package. So this is an added thing that you have to purchase, but allows unlimited downloads. So it's really cool. Once at Walt Disney World, you can purchase from a PhotoPass locations inside the park or at Downtown Disney. Memory Maker will be replacing PhotoPass soon, so just get that through. Get that in there. That Memory Maker, the Disney's Memory Maker, will replace PhotoPass. So I think that's pretty neat. I'm not, I like the fact that you can, purchase the whole package, and you can download as much as you want, from the PhotoPass people. I think they're trying to get with the times with that. Everybody's just asking them to take a photo and everything like that. So Disney's, for a nominal fee, you can, download as much as you want. So I think it'll be pretty cool. And finally, Disney has opened 2 new Joffrey's Coffee kiosks in Walt Disney World. The first is located just inside Pixar Place near Toy Story Mania, and the second is located just outside the Muppets between the Cars and the Cars Meet and Greet and Premiere Theater. Both kiosks offer a usual range of Joffrey's products, including specialty coffees, pastries, and frozen drinks. So, good stuff there. I'm not a big coffee drinker, so I really don't care. But if you're into coffee, this is for you. Alright, that's the news for this week, guys. Let's get right to the reviews. Alright, there is a couple attractions that I apparently missed or haven't re-reviewed since I last went down. One of them is the Walt Disney World Railroad. Now, this isn't exactly something I get on each and every single time I go down to Disney World, mainly because it's just a transportation attraction. But it does have some Disney history behind it, and it is, kind of important that you get on it at least once in your life. And it is pretty cool, you know, the fact that they put some time and effort into these locomotives, and you know, they're real steam engines. You know, it is pretty neat. So yeah, the Walt Disney World Railroad. Now, what these guys say the Walt Disney World Railroad is, it's a scenic railroad ride around the perimeter of the Magic Kingdom. Provides transportation to Frontierland and Fantasyland. It used to be Mickey's Toontown. That, you know, it never stopped in Fantasyland. A minor attraction, go anytime. Main Street is usually the least congested station. Plenty to see. 2.5 stars. Now, this attraction opened on October 1st of 1971, and like I said, this travels all around the Magic Kingdom. It's not located in one area. The train stations, like I said, were the Magic Kingdom, or the Main Street USA. That's the biggest one. You can see it. You walk underneath of it as you go into the Magic Kingdom. There's one in Frontierland and one in Fantasyland. Again, like I said, it used to be Mickey's Toontown Square. It used to be its little Toontown area, but that got assimilated in with Fantasyland, so that's it now. Now, one thing about the Walt Disney World Railroad is the fact that there's a railroad in each of the Magic Kingdom parks around the world. You know, Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong Disneyland, over in Disneyland, the fact that it started right there. It's in all of them except for Tokyo Disney. And there is a reason why, because it's in Japan, they have a very strict train, they have very strict train regulations. So in order to get around that, Disney decided to not have a normal railroad. According to their regulations, if any train has more than one stop, it has to conform to these certain regulations. Disney didn't want to have to deal with that, so they built this other railroad attraction, which is kind of like almost like a mix of the the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and the Walt Disney World Railroad. So it's not as crazy, but there's only one stop it goes around, and that's about it. Like, it's more of a ride than transportation sort of thing. So Disney just avoided it, by doing that. So there is a railroad in Tokyo Disneyland, but it's not the normal Walt Disney World Railroad that you would see anywhere else in other Disney parks. So just a bit of trivia with that. Now, Walt was a huge lover of trains. Ever since he was a kid, he used to dream about trains. His uncle was a conductor. He loved trains. He even worked on one once. He was like one of the people that sold coffee and candies and drinks and stuff like that. He loved trains. Obviously that was the biggest main way of traveling back when he was younger. So he was just really fascinated by it. In his later years, when he got had a little bit of money after all the successes that he'd had, he was getting into building things. He wanted to do things for himself, because animation really wasn't interesting him anymore. He wanted to kind of move on. He was always a guy to move on to the next thing. So he would actually recruit people that worked for him and said, "Hey, I saw that you're interested in trains. I'm interested in trains too. Let's try to do something." So they would on their free time help build each other's train sets. And he actually built a scale model, or a scale model train around his house. He called it the Carrollwood Pacific Railroad. He built, it was a tunnel. He built everything around it, and he built it from the ground up. That was his way of just creating him, expressing his creativity or whatever. But he loved trains. He's always loved trains, ever since a kid. So naturally, when he was coming up with Disneyland, of course, trains were going to be in there somewhere. So once they built those in Disneyland, obviously the tradition carried over to Walt Disney World. Now, there are 4 different locomotives pulling 4 different passenger cars in Walt Disney World. Now, you might only see 3 because one of them kind of just stays down, and it's only brought out during special occasions. For different reasons that I didn't quite understand. Like, the frame was different. That's the the Lily Bell. But anyway, you got the Walter E. Disney, the Lily Bell, which you don't really see a whole lot. The Roger E. Brogy and the Roy O. Disney. Those are the different locomotives that you might see at any given time. Now, Disney only uses 2 a day unless it gets really busy, in which case they'll throw in a third. the Walt Disney World Railroad actually pulls about, I think it's 1.5 million, transports 1.5 million people around the Magic Kingdoms every year. So, I mean, it gets some use. It gets a lot of use. This railroad operates daily. They're on a very strict schedule. They start taking on passengers at 9 a.m. And all throughout the day, if they need to be used for something, they need to adhere to a certain schedule. There's a lot that really goes down to just to this railroad than just going around in a circle. They have to make sure everything's safe and sound and working properly. The railroad's only closed during the evening hours, especially because of the fireworks. When you go around, you are only about 100 yards from where the fireworks are getting set off, and that would be bad if there was an accident. So they close the railroad off, about an hour or two before the fireworks show for the night. Now, the actual attraction itself, like the actual ride itself, is very nice. It is a railroad. It's pretty smooth. It is a transportation ride. It's good for, if you're just chilling, if you want to rest up, if you want to take a nap. There's just there's not much to see. Obviously they do have some different, decorations and stuff to give you something to look at. One of the funny stories is that you might actually spot a live alligator every now and then, because Walt Disney World is built on a swamp, and it is Central Florida, so there is a good chance that you will see a live alligator somewhere, in the parks. Obviously, Disney's always keeping an eye out for that, and they get the people from Gator World to come and get it. But I'm not saying that you're going to get bitten by an alligator. I'm just saying there might be a chance that that you'll see it, because I don't think there's been any alligator-related incidents in Walt Disney World history. So I think your odds are good with that. But no, so you go around, and as the train passes different areas, the narration gets a little bit different. They talk about like Adventureland. Once you pass Adventureland, they talk about Frontierland, all the different rides and different trivia things, and you'll see some different animatronics that they put out there. It's a transportation ride. It's not meant for any overt thrills or anything like that. But it's fun. It's a cool little thing, and once you know the history behind the Walt Disney World Railroad and why Disney loved it, you kind of gain an appreciation for it. Does it mean you're gonna hop on the Walt Disney World Railroad first instead of going to Splash Mountain? I doubt it. But if you get some time, check out the Walt Disney World Railroad. It is really fun, and I really enjoy it. So what am I going to give the Walt Disney World Railroad at the Magic Kingdom? Unfortunately, I'm only giving it 2, but the 2 is modified. It's 2 stars because, in the whole grand scheme of things, if you're comparing this attraction to Space Mountain, obviously people are going to pick Space Mountain 9 times out of 10 over the Walt Disney World Railroad. But get on the Walt Disney World Railroad, like I said, especially if you have extra time in the parks, if you want to cool down. I like it as much as I like the People Mover. It's just kind of fun. It's kind of a chill ride. You get the wind in your hair, and you're just chilling, from a long day of walking at the parks. It takes 20 minutes to go around, the whole loop, and it's just a fun little attraction that, can get you places. It does haul a lot of people, and it's a fun attraction filled with Disney history, so it does deserve at least a little bit of your time. So if you haven't been on the Walt Disney World Railroad, get on it the next time you go down. You might actually enjoy it a little bit. And if it's not for you, there's always a next stop. Either in Fantasyland, Frontierland, or the Main Street USA one. So it's pretty cool. Check that out. The Walt Disney World Railroad, 2 stars. Alright guys, the next one I'm going to review is one that you guys have been bugging me about for the past week or so. Yes, I'm going to review Frozen. I'm not going to give away any plot points or anything like that. I really don't know why you want me to review it so bad, but I guess you just want to hear what I have to think of it. First of all, I just want to say, love the movie, okay? Love it, go see it right now. Frozen is Disney's newest animated film. It is in 3D or regular, and it's making a lot of money right now. It's doing very well. It was a budget. The movie had a budget of $150 million, and it's already made $190. So chances are once it opens out into other markets around the world, Disney's going to make some bank. It's kind of funny that like the history of this movie, because there is history to it. You might think, oh, Disney just kind of came up with this. This has been a movie, a story that Disney's been trying to deal with ever since the 1930s. Disney even partnered up with MGM to do a Hans Christian Andersen kind of thing where this story was actually told, the actual Hans Christian Andersen story. If you didn't know, the Frozen is based on the Snow Queen story by Hans Christian Andersen, or Hans Christian Andersen. Hans Christian Andersen. And they've been trying to make it ever since. I mean, they brought it back in the '90s, thinking that they could do it. They, with the success of the Little Mermaid, they were like, well, let's do the Snow Queen. All right, let's try it. Ah, crap, can't do it. Then they tried it in 2008. Let's do it. Nah, crap, can't do it. Then finally in 2011, they came up with a good story. After the success of Tangled, they were like, okay, I think we have a good idea here. Let's make this different, and let's make it cool, and let's make it, for the kids of today. And I think they managed to make a movie that people from old school will like it, older people, and people from like younger people will like it. I went and saw it with my grandmother, and she's a huge Disney movie fan. She loves all the old Disney movies, and she absolutely loved this movie. I asked her why, and she said she just loved everything about it. She thought the story was great, and the characters were likable, and everything about it was just awesome. The music was great, obviously. So I thought that was really neat because in our theater there was a good total mix of young people, people my age, and then older people. So I thought that was really neat. Everybody was really wanting to see this movie. This movie spread around, like word of mouth, like gangbusters. I mean, it's really cool. Now, this movie features the voices of Kristen Bell, who plays the Princess Anna, and you have Idina Menzel, who is one of my favorite all-time people in the world because I liked her from Rent. I liked her in Wicked. She's awesome. She finally got a Disney movie, and she killed it in this movie. She played Elsa, Princess or Queen Elsa. She is the Snow Queen. Then you got Jonathan Groff, who plays Kristoff. He was a mountain man in this movie. You'll understand it when you actually go see it. Josh Gad, he's another really good voice, like voiceover guy. He's been in a bunch of other movies. Like when you see him, you'll go, "Oh, it's that guy." But he did Olaf, who is the snowman, and he's hilarious. Hilarious. And then you got Santino Fontana, who is actually just a stage guy. He does a lot of stage work, and along with Idina Menzel and all that. He played Prince Hans, and it's just funny how he provided the biggest swerve that I've ever experienced in a Disney movie. It was just so funny. The story itself, I'm not going to give any plot points away or anything like that, but it does have to do with the two princesses, Anna and Elsa, and Elsa has some magic powers, and she can create snow and ice and things like that. She pretty much has the power over cold, and that is also the main point of the story. The main plot point of the story is the fact that magic, once brought them together, but now it separates them for reasons that I'm not going to tell you. So throughout the whole movie, they meet up with these two different princes, and stuff happens. There's happiness, summer, winter. There's even a giant snowman, abominable snowman sort of thing. Just a lot of stuff going on. And finally, in the end, they get together through the power of love. Obviously, Disney is always about, love can get you through anything. So, that kind of works out how it, happened in the end. But Prince Hans, like I said, was, offered the biggest, twist in the whole thing. I was sitting in the theater like this, facing the screen. As soon as it happened, I looked over at my brother. And that's pretty much how it happened. I was not ready for it. My brother said he saw it coming, but I was totally not ready for it, and it blew my mind. The music was absolutely fantastic in this. The music was done by Robert Lopez and Kristen Anderson Lopez, who are their husband and wife team. They've done a bunch of different things. They even did music from the Book of Mormon, so that stuff is really cool. They did all the songs, and all right, I want to mess up this name. Christopher Beck did the score. He did all the the background music and whatnot, and he did a great job. I think each of them had their own flavor, and they really brought it together. And all the songs are really good. Like "Let It Go" was great. "Summer" was awesome. There was just a lot of really good songs, and I actually left the theater humming it a lot. And a lot of people I've talked to actually did the same thing. So it was pretty good. Now the animation effects, I gotta say, were absolutely crazy. All the characters were done in the Disney animated way, with the big eyes and whatnot. But it was the ice and snow animation that completely blew my mind. Especially the ice, because it's really hard to get water correct in animation. And once they did the ice, once I saw the ice effects and how it shone through, and how they did the snowflakes and things like that, it just completely blew my mind. And I was really, really impressed by how they handled everything, and I thought that was awesome. One of the other really awesome selling points of this movie is the pre-movie. This movie was, obviously there's a short before every Disney animated movie, and this one was no different. This one had a short called "Get a Horse." It was done in the old style of there's like the old school Disney animated shorts, with the kind that Walt actually drew. And it was Mickey was trying to find Minnie and whatnot, and he met Peg Leg Pete and all that stuff. And it was so cool because they burst through, I guess, I don't know how to describe this, you just have to go see it. They burst through the screen and fell into you, and fell into the theater that you were at. And Mickey then became 3D, and anybody that came through the screen became 3D as well. So they kept going in and out and up and down, and and Mickey basically controlled time through it. It was just one of the best shorts that I had ever seen. Of the new ones. The Toy Story ones have been so good. This one was great because it harkened back to all the old school Disney stuff. They used all of Walt's old voices, all the voiceover stuff to do Mickey, because Walt Disney was the original voice of Mickey Mouse. So Mickey was done completely by Walt. They took snippets and added it in, and so that was really, really cool. At how they did it, and I have to give the Disney Animated Studios props for that. That was quite awesome. And I would love to see more of that in the future. And I didn't see it in 3D, and I wish I did, because that opening show really does, I would imagine, do 3D very well. So go see it in 3D if you can, if your brain can handle it. So I would see Frozen again just to watch that movie again, in that little short in 3D. So I really enjoyed that. Another thing, like I said, this movie is grossing a lot of money because everybody likes it. It's been getting great reviews from everybody, and I'm no different. Now, what am I going to give Frozen, the Disney's newest animated film? I'm definitely giving this 5 stars. I need you to go check this movie out. This was one of the best animated movies I've seen in a while, ever since Tangled. I enjoyed Tangled a ton, and this is equally up there with it. I enjoyed everything about it, pretty much. Like, the music was great, the animation was great. I loved the characters that were in it. I loved the story and that it brought. I loved the animated movie with it. I cannot wait to get this on Blu-ray just so I can watch it again. Go check it out in 3D. I think you'll really appreciate the 3D in this one, especially with that pre-animated short. So check that out. Frozen, awesome movie. Check it out. 5 stars. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Disney News Reviews. Again, be on the lookout for the the other videos coming up in the next coming weeks and whatnot. I'll throw these out there. I'm getting ready for Christmas. It's taking forever, and there's a lot of stuff going on, holiday parties, work, this, that, and the other. It's just a crazy, it's been a crazy time, but I think I'm handling it well. Hope you guys are too. Yeah, so if anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I want people to go to Disney World, to get on the Walt Disney World Railroad, or to go see Frozen. It's awesome. It's in theaters now. Check it out. 3D. Awesome. Good stuff. And if you are going down to Disney World, be sure to go to allers.net, toyingplans.com, www.magic.com for our latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too. They have every bit of information you can need because it's their stuff. It's their website. Yeah, so check it all out. We got a bunch of stuff going on. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All those links are below. Check out, if you need any other links for anything, let me know. I try to get back to you with the new Google Plus thing. It's hard for me to respond to things. It takes a little bit longer, but I will be right there. If you have any urgent questions, check out my Facebook fan page. That is a huge, huge place for me that I can easily respond to people on Facebook. Yeah. So yeah, cool. I'll see you guys next week for another Disney news and review. So guys, where in the world am I this week? Bye guys.
Yeah. There it is.
Okay, see him now?
Oh. Hey, Lily.